I'm back. Good morning. Happy 11/11 day. We're back. Chapter 2 of Your Words Create Your World. Chapter 2. I hope you guys enjoyed chapter 1. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Let's just get right into it. All right. So chapter 2, Your Everyday Spells. Exploring habitual language patterns as unconscious invocations. I love that. Okay. Words fly out of our mouths like birds startled from a tree, quick, automatic, and often without thought. We speak to navigate traffic, settle arguments, pass the time, or express irritation. But while we may treat these phrases as throwaway lines, every sentence we uttered is an energetic offering, a declaration, a subtle spell cast into the world. Most of us never stop to examine our habitual speech. We don't think twice before blurting out, "I'm sick of this. I'll never get it right," or "God damn it." We say these things because we've always said them. They live in our vocabulary like old furniture, comfortable, familiar, but not always useful. What we rarely realize is that these phrases are more than just words. They are unconscious invocations, quietly shaping our inner world and outer reality. Words as repetition spells. Excuse me, I'm kind of stuffy this morning. Words as repetition spells. A spell, in its simplest form, is a repeated utterance infused with intention or emotion. You don't need candles or incantations to cast one. In fact, you already do it every day. Each time you mutter, "I can't," you're not just expressing frustration, you're reinforcing limitation. Each time you say, "I'm always broke," you're reaffirming scarcity. The more you repeat these phrases, the more your subconscious registers them as truths, even if they begin as passing complaints. The human mind is incredibly receptive to repetition. This is how habits form, how beliefs take root, and how we unknowingly write the script of our lives. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. I'm sorry. Totally looked at you guys thinking I knew what it was going to say and I didn't. Okay. Your subconscious mind doesn't filter for sarcasm, hyperbole, or hyperbole? I don't know. Or emotional outbursts. It doesn't know you were just joking when you said, "I'm such an idiot." It accepts the language you give it over and over until it becomes a silent blueprint for your reality. In this way, habitual language becomes ritualized, like daily prayers. Our most repeated phrases become self-fulfilling prophecies. So if you imagine the voice in your head or your mind, how it hears things, it doesn't hear joking, it doesn't hear subtle incantations or inflections. It's just literally like that deadpan, monotone, thinking everything at first value. It's like Spock. There's no joking, there's no nothing. It's just very, very literal. So even though I hear, and I did it as a kid, joking back and forth, telling each other, "Oh, you're so dumb, you're this or that," whatever. We're joking with our friends, especially as teenagers and young people. And as we get older, I don't think we do it quite as much, but your mind doesn't know the difference. It literally thinks that these are real. It can't tell the difference. And we don't realize that. People don't realize that. Okay. Common curses we don't realize we're casting. Let's look at some everyday phrases that many of us use without thinking, each one carrying hidden weight. God damn it. This is a literal invocation for something to be condemned or destroyed. Whether used in jest or anger, it carries strong emotional vibration and a spiritual command. Replacing it with "God bless it" changes the energy instantly from frustration to hope. I feel like that's a pretty easy fix. And again, people don't understand the gravity of your words. You just don't understand. I mean, some of you do, but most people don't. And when I say this to people, it's just kind of like, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal. You're really taking this too seriously." No, I'm not. I've just fully embodied the fact that I understand this. And once you embody something, you understand the gravity of it. And so when I say things, and I say it all the time, I got into an argument with one of my kids last night, and it was all I could do to not say so. And I caught myself saying some of this stuff because it just comes out. I've got 51 years of training, and only a few training not to do this. So it's a thing. Okay, I can't. A statement of limitation. When spoken repeatedly, this becomes a cemented belief that locks you out of possibilities. How much does that suck? I'm always tired, broke, unlucky. These are affirmations in disguise. They root your identity in suffering or scarcity. The word always is especially potent. It makes the statement eternal. These are those, Anyway, I'll stop the commentary. I'm such an idiot. A self-inflicted wound. Even said with humor, it reinforces shame and self-doubt. They never change. This phrase freezes other people in your perception, robbing them and yourself of the possibility of growth and transformation. That one's huge, especially when you're dealing with exes or just uncomfortable people. We rob them. These phrases are not just linguistic habits, they're energetic patterns that reinforce certain emotional and spiritual states. The more you say them, the more you live them, like grooves carved into rock by water. These words etch pathways in the mind and spirit, directing thought, mood, and behavior. Okay, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to try to make these a little bit shorter so they're easier to digest and you don't have to stop and rewind, whatever. I'm just going to pause here.